I'm making this video this is an important video. It's about the government and how messed up things are in America. So, right now, when you go to the doctor and you're sick, okay, people are dying. People are losing their lives. And people make mistakes. We're all human, you know? But a lot of these hospitals are irresponsible and they continue to do things and cover things up. So when you go to the hospital, you know, you have the right, just so you know, you do have the right to go to a specific hospital. So find a good hospital. I urge everybody to do this because this is pretty much all we can do. Find a good hospital and research a little bit because this is important, right? So research it a little bit, and after you do that, if an emergency ever happens, okay, you have the right to request what hospital you want to go to, and they have to take you there, even if you don't have insurance. So, let's say, God forbid, you had a heart attack, and they had to stabilize you. They're going to take you to the nearest hospital. But you have the right, after you become stable, to go to the hospital of your choice. So, find a hospital, a good one, and make sure that you help your family out that do tell them, you know, this is the name of a good hospital, and tell them this information. Because here's what's going on, okay? They have a cure for cancer. Okay, they can cure cancer. Cancer is just white blood cells that manipulate red blood cells. They overpopulate in your body. They know how to combat this, okay? And here's the thing that's going on in the world. It's overpopulation, okay? Because if our population reaches a certain number, we're all going to go extinct. There's not going to be enough food, there's not enough water. Literally, in 100 years from now, if something doesn't happen like war or death or something, disease, the world's going to be so overpopulated that everybody, in 100 years from now, if it continues going the way it is today, everybody would be standing side by side. There'd be no room to move. There'd be so many people. We'd all be standing side by side. And on top of that, the Earth's temperature from the body heat of everybody would be the surface temperature of the sun, which is 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So the government necessarily, this is necessary for our survival, but it's still messed up. They do something called crowd control. And what they do is they use religion, fear, disease, famine, because we could feed the hungry in the world easily. Okay, Americans throw enough food away every year to feed all the population that's hungry in the world. And instead of spending all this money on nonsense, like, you know, the little experiments they do, like how many college kids send "I love you" messages through text messages a year? They do research on these stupid ass things, and they spend millions of dollars, millions of dollars. How do bees mate? That might be important because we need to know because they're going extinct. But there's other things that they're doing that aren't important at all, and it's a way to subsidize money to put it somewhere and maybe extort it. I mean, you know, they're getting a little kickback. Put it like this: we're going to let this company research this. They're going to kick us back something, do us a favor. So it's all corrupt, okay? The government, it's a new world order. They enslave the population. They scare us. They plant subliminal messages on the TV, murder, kill, rape, so you can see them and you can be in fear, okay? And you can actually go do those things. They're instilled in us since we were little. And what's happening with healthcare right now is that, put it this way, to control the population, because that's a scientific fact, okay, that the population of the world is going to become so much that we're not going to be able to survive as a species. So to control that and combat that, there has to be disease and war and death. And in third world countries right now, if you go to a doctor, okay, in third world countries, you only pay for your health care when you're healthy. You don't pay when you're sick. So the doctors, they want to keep you healthy so they can keep making money off of you. In the United States, you pay for a doctor when you're sick. It's a business. They're privatized, a lot of these hospitals, and that's a bad thing to do because they're for profit. They're making money when you get sick. Shouldn't it be instead of making money when you get sick, they should make money when you're healthy, because you're not going to pay for your car, right, to be broke down all the time. You're not going to pay on a car that doesn't run. So they're going to keep your car running if you lease a car or whatever. You have insurance, everything else, okay? You're not going to pay for food if it tastes like shit. You're not going to do it. They're not going to purposely make food taste like shit and make it like garbage so you'll keep coming in order to get better food. So why is healthcare, you pay on it when you get sick? Why isn't you pay on it when you're healthy? Because they want to kill you off. That's the truth. And this isn't a conspiracy theory, and it isn't off the handle, because all these people that are bringing this to people's attention, different things that are going on right now, they're being called nutcases, and everybody's shunning them. When did the pursuit of knowledge become crazy? I mean, it's like, back in Galileo's time when he was tried for heresy because he believed something different than the Vatican, the church, did. They were going to burn him at the stake, okay? And what's going on is they enslave the population. This is a plan that's been set up for thousands of years. Illuminati, Freemasons, the elite of the world, they give us jobs, and we have to go to work and work 40, 60, 70, 80, 90-hour weeks. And they make our price of food and gas and nourishments and electricity and heating so much that we literally are slaves. In order to survive and provide for ourselves, we have to, a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. And we don't have time to think or get knowledge or do anything because we're too busy working and trying to take care of our family and do things that we need to do. And here's what more people need to do. They need to try to get away from that as much as possible. And there's a few ways to do that, but, I'm not saying to go and become sovereign, but what I am saying is just to become aware. That's the first step, is more people to become aware of this, because it's kind of scary that when you go to a doctor, okay, look at it this way. Crowd control, population control. The government does statistics every year and see how many people are born. Well, guess what? More people have to die than people were born. Because if that doesn't happen, we're going to overpopulate and our species is going to go extinct. So this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Because science fact, if you look it up, in 100, maybe 150 years, if we're stabilizing the growth of the population, maybe 150 years, if it continues to go the way it is right now, we will not survive on this planet. And one option for that is to colonize other planets. But we're so far away from that, that could be the most important thing out of anything. More important than anything going on in this world. I don't care what's going on in this world. The most important thing would be colonizing other planets. And the reason why is because if something happens to the Earth, we're screwed. And we're not doing that. Obama shut NASA down. He's trying to privatize it. That's good in a way. But the government has the best way of researching things. They have the best resources. So when you get these privatized companies going into space, what are they going to do? They're going to try to make money. And how are they going to make money? By taking you on little space trips. What they need to concentrate on is colonizing other planets, whether it's the moon, Mars, whatever. This is very important, okay? And it's funny, how much greed has always greed is just, it's out of control. It's always been, since the beginning of time, greed has been in effect, and it's just, it destroys, because the governments of the world can come together and take, we can literally have a heaven on earth if everybody, and I know I'm not saying this is, Alice in Wonderland or whatever the hell, but what I'm saying is we can make it better. Instead of making it better, we're making it worse. Okay, and there's just so many things going on right now, and just be aware, okay? Because every day when you go out, you are not only being surveilled, you're not only being watched, but you're being targeted, okay? We have no privacy anymore. They want to put microchips in all of us. That's coming true. That's a Bible prophecy, and it's so amazing because they're actually doing it now. They're RFD chips, and they want to put them in all of us and keep our money on there. So if you ever owe anything to anybody, the government or whatever, they can take your money. There's no such thing as paper currency anymore. They want to put these chips in us, has all our biological information, and their excuse for it is so we know you are who you say you are. But here's the real truth. They want to control you, okay? Because you can't buy food without these chips. You have the option to turn them off, but you can't buy food. How are you going to survive without food? I mean, it's just ridiculous what's going on right now. The Bible prophecies are coming true, and it's a crazy time, you know. These are the end days, and you just have to become aware, try to become a little bit more enlightened.